Hello everyone for a new video. So this is the updated Lacerate Bleed character, the one I did the leak start with. I think it was day 4 or 5, something like that. Then we switched to Impel Bleed. So I went back to this build as a boss killer, and it actually surprised me on how well it does against bosses. And this build is not fully done. There's a lot of gear that can be fixed to probably add another 500k bleed DPS and plus maybe. So it's pretty close to what I wanted it to be back when I first made the character before we killed the first Cyrus this league and then started switching characters around. So it is the Bleed Axe, Siege Axe, pretty much, with the 100% the double bleed mod. There is stuff on here that needs to be fixed. Like it needs to get removed. Like it needs to remove chaos to get rid of that multi-strike, so there's nothing. Attack speed's very good. It needs a lot of stuff fixed on it. I just been super lazy, and if I wanted to get this better, I would go for Calling Strike on this also. It was just something I can get at the time when I made this character that had 30% quality, because I don't know what's the best. I don't know if it's good at attack speed, AoE, I'm not sure, so I left that blank. Helm is just a lacerate, deals more damage to bleeding. It's pretty much, I rolled it just to have chaos res. Everything else on this helm is trash. Sunder Shield still the best in slot. The gems I'm over right now, there's about technically there's a lot of gem slots open. It's not technically optimized to be the best. To be honest, I should have like rage support and all that kind of stuff on the shield, but been lazy. Like I have one gem and it's Ancestral War Chief. I don't even have blood. I used to have blood rage, but blood rage is over leveled, so I can't use it. So it's not even on. Like in the helm, it's the level 4 Enlighten, the anonymous Herald of Purity for the taunt, the anonymous Flesh and Stone, and the main. The exact same setup I did on League Start. The necklace is pretty much the same thing. The command is steel for the chance to block. And all this is pretty much life, chaos res, and regular res. That's all it is. Because this build's max chaos res, and I got all that through the gear. That's why my gear sucks. The gems is the same thing on the shield. The cast damage taken, immortal call, increased duration. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. It's the same pretty much same ring. The Herald of Purity with buff effect, and then increased more fizz damage while affected by Herald of Purity. And the top doesn't matter. Intelligence is nice, but I just care about those two. Probably should have technically put a damage mod on this to get more damage out of this, which I've been lazy on. This is the chest piece I wanted to have when I did this character originally. The explode, the socket attacks minus 15 mana costs, resistance, life. It has an it has an open prefix, so I'm not exactly sure why the life doesn't. I mean, I could put, if we're going to actually do this, I probably would craft Pious do life and mana, to be honest. Good enough for me. We don't need mana with this build. So probably something like that. I mean, the last slide is pretty much whatever you want it to be. If you want defense, it's optional. Because I don't really need the life with this build, to be honest. This life doesn't really move that much. Then it's pretty much the same as League Start. Lacerate. Your melee fizz. This should be awakened. I'm just lazy to spend 3 exalts to get this awakened. Multi-strike, same thing. It should be awakened. It would be the best thing to do for the build. Fortify should be a 21, 23. Ruthless. It already is. And Awakened Brutality. Something I had from my Bleed Bow character left over, so I threw it on here. The ring, this is the reason why my link's a little bit screwed up, because I have the vulnerability on the ring, so I don't need it on the cast damage taken setup like we had on League Start. So that's why my gem's a little bit screwy. So its vulnerability on hit is amazing with the build. It's much better than cast and damage taken version. I recommend getting this on the ring as implicit, like how this is, or just get it on a Warlord base. If I believe it's Warlord though, if I'm correct. But it's pretty much just to help our Dex and Intelligence. Because Dex and Intelligence is still the biggest problem with this build. Which is like the reason why we don't have Blood Rage on. And everything else you can look on this, it's not even good. Fire damage attacks, trash. Energy shield, trash. Like, it's not even that good of a ring. It's just something I spam, just to have some Dex and Strength, so I didn't need it on the helmet. And then I just cast it non-damage, non-channeling skills minus mana cost, so our Lacerate's free. So I can do this forever. What do gloves allow? So the gloves, it's pretty much the same thing as leaks when we did in Leak Start. It's just a really shitty version of it because it has no percent melee damage as a prefix. Attack speed's only 8%, but it does have Chaos Res. That's the only thing I was rolling for is Chaos Resistance and some type of attack speed. And I crafted Life on it. They're not good at all. And then pretty much this, it's Enlighten with a Divergent Pride, and also the Enlighten with a War Banner and Blood and Sand. So I would recommend doing the Pride only if you have the Watcher's Eye for either the double damage or the percent more fizz damage with Pride. That's the only reason Pride's on here. But I think War Banner and Blood and Sand is much better just because it's a bigger AoE, faster attacks. I think overall it's probably the best way to go. Because Blood and Sand, you do less damage, but you have more AoE. So it's easier to hit things with, and that's really nice. But it's definitely open. This used to be the 4-link that used to be like cast damage taken, and the 3-link. So I mean, that's why my stuff's a little bit screwy because I've switched things around. But the build works. Same thing, Rush's Coil, best in slot. You can use Headhunter if you want, but the Coil is the best thing to use. Boots, absolute trash. As this Life and triple res, pretty much. And I crafted cannot be frozen because I just don't want to be frozen. It's a quality of life. Do you need it? No. But it does make this a lot nicer. And like the crit strike chance does absolutely nothing because we don't crit. And it's pretty much the same thing. Leap Slam, Blood Magic, so you use your life instead. You don't really even need this with the amount of mana. Because Leap Slam uses 2 mana. You can probably, if I was going to make this change, maybe dump this for maybe Calling Strike. It's an option though. Does it matter? No. Like, this uses mana, but you don't really have skills to use mana. That's it for that. But yeah, a lot of stuff too, I just pretty much Chaos Bandit to have Chaos Res. Just because I want to make this build super tanky, because it's... we'll go over the stats in a second. But it's pretty much, 82 Chaos Res, Max Res, 72% chance to block. This is with no Flasks active. 52 fizz damage mitigation without using Flasks. Like, it's super tanky, and when we use all the Flasks, well, 79 fizz damage block, and 72 stays there. But it's super defensive. It's very nice too. I have a Cyrus ready. We're gonna do that at the end, Awakener 9. So we'll do that together. But it's the exact same Flask, pretty much. You're bubbling, staunching for bleed immune. Ample heat. It's just some more charges with freeze, remove, freeze, and chill. Doesn't matter. Lion's Roar is just more damage, but it is annoying because of knockback though. Bottle Faith, I just had an open slide, didn't know what to put on here, so I threw this on here just for 40% more damage. And movement speed. And this is just for incubators. So the exact same, it's pretty much the exact same skill tree. I didn't really change anything. It's still the unnatural, the 2 points. It's still a corrupted blood jewel. This one is just better because this one is a... Stop moving. It's just life and damage over time. Still, this one I did change though. So we do have Intuitive Leap here now. This Intuitive Leap is nice because it gives you Dirty Techniques, Cloth and Chain for more resistance, and a little bit of armor, damage, and another endurance charge. That's the only point. You don't need this. If you want to skip this completely, you can, but you might have to skip these 2 points and just go here and get this at least. But I've seen people use Intuitive Leap. I've seen Thread of Hopes. Like, get a Thread of Hope because people will grab, like, I think it's the charges, or they grab stuff up here for attack speed. There's a lot of different ways you can go with this slot. Let's go with nothing there last. It's still Red Nightmare, just to convert. And we did change the skill tree, actually. I forgot about this. So the skill tree did change a little bit. Like, I had the Dex. We do take the Crimson Dance now. But this whole part here is the same. That changed. Going this way. Up here, we don't take this anymore. These 2 points. It only just grabs this. Life and Unnatural. Going this way now. We'll talk about that later. You know, we got the thing we wanted to get last time for the more melee strike range. This way, the defense, this. It's still, this is the exact same circle. It stops here. So now, instead of going up how we went this way, up to grab this way, we can now go shoot over this way to get all these points, just for the Red Nightmare, wherever it's at. Then we grab these points, then we go this way, we loop back around here for more defensive and more damage. That's all that's pretty much now. It's still the same thing, you know, go lab 1, 2, 3, and 4. It'll change. Oh yeah. So this, I did change this a little bit. It's pretty close to the same, to be honest. I did change the large cluster though, so now it's still Marshal's Palace. And Feed the Fury, I think, was an original. But I also do have Field of Flight, just because I thought I needed Mana Leech, which I do not at all. If I'm going to change this, or if you want to change this, if you want a better clear speed, I would recommend making that you want to get Blood Scent, Marshal's Power, and then Feed the Fury, just for Leech. But Blood Scent you do want to get because it's the one that gives you Rage. But it's extremely expensive. You're probably looking around 17x, I would say, for those 3 with the 8 passive. But it's well worth it. It'll make your mapping so much better. And it's wasting Affliction still, your wound, Distorting Wound with wound. It's the exact same on those. And like here, it's pretty much, all I did on these jewels is I looked for pretty much attack speed and life. Like this one is dual attack speed and then life. And then I got an extra attacks with 60% more damage. That was just on there when I bought this, so I just took it. Like this one, it's life, attack speed, and attack speed. That's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it, this tree. If you want to change it, like I would recommend, you know, changing this, like I said. This is optional which way you want to go with. Get the Awakening Gems. Get your gear much better than mine, because my gear is really bad. Start this now, because it does take time. So the build I recommend if you want an easy, cheaper base build, the build can definitely tank Cyrus. I don't know why we're walking. The build's extremely tanky. It's a lot tankier than I thought it was going to be. It's definitely really good build. Definitely if you can get your attack speed like on this much better, like using the essence of Zeal to get like an 18 or so with actual flat damage, you can definitely be doing this at a much faster rate. Getting a better weapon, actually getting an Elder Base for the -9 Fizz damage would be the best option. A much better amulet. You can even get the Dex Skill Gems to make this level 22. Fizz damage. There's a damage over time. There's a lot of different things you can get. But not damage over time. But definitely I just been real lazy on trying to actually upgrade this build. But the build's extremely good. But yeah, like, Little Cyrus does nothing. The only thing I watch for is Big Cyrus on top. But yeah, I can literally just stand here and not care what the hell's going on. And the fight's over. First fight's over. But yeah, the build's extremely good. I recommend it. I'm probably not gonna upgrade it though to what I said with the Blood Scent and the two Awakening Gems right here, just because for 70x plus the Watcher's Eye, it's not a whole lot more damage than I thought it would be. So I'm probably not gonna upgrade it. So I'll probably end up selling this character off and then building a either a Impale Lacerate, because they are pretty cheap too. Or we'll probably do a something else. Because I use this character only for two things. Cyrus, actually three. Cyrus, Trials, and Conquerors. That's it. I don't map with this character because it's too slow for me. I have an actual mapping character. So this character is only doing Cyruses right now. It's carrying people in chat Cyruses. It's doing Cyruses for me. That's the only thing I have it for. It's definitely not doing anything else besides that. So I'll probably end up dumping, because I want to do Mavens, and this character, like if anyone knows about melee characters, Maven, it's not the easiest. I almost did it with this character at the current state. It's just I got screwed over at the end phase when you can't regen. Or leech and all that. That's what I got problems with. So if I build a character, if I tank it a little bit better. But yeah, like I went back and forth between using Pride and those two a lot. And I do feel like these two are 100 times much smoother gameplay. Usually I do Cyrus with Pride, but this is my first time doing it without Pride, and I can definitely tell it's much faster. The attack speed is the biggest part about this build. If you have good attack speed, your Cyrus is much smoother. Come on. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update about this since it's been a while since I upgraded the build, and this wasn't what I used for the original or the Rusted Legion. And I didn't really use the best stuff for it. But it's definitely just to show an option if you want to play the Bleed Lacerate. Because it's definitely like a lot of people with big streamers have played this build. That's the best spot. It is nice that you don't have to carry. This build can probably tank. I think it can tank the Meteor too. I still prefer not to gamble, but I have tanked a couple Meteors before. I think this build's like around 1,000,000 DPS right now, Bleed, which is not good at all to be honest. It's very low, but the build's extremely good for tankiness. The Immortal Call does help a lot with the tanky part though. And he's dead. Cast while channeling. I got some Gamble Gloves. I don't know if this is work good. A Chaos Trash. Well, I guess we'll gamble some gloves before we end the stream. Or end the video, I mean. Do this real fast. But you saw the fight was extremely easy. Nothing cool. That's garbage. Do some gloves. How fast can we brick these? Yeah. Is that good? I don't even know. I guess the spare by itself, 1x. Trap and mine, like 3. 3. Wait, were they together though? I didn't look at that one. 7? Come on. Oh yeah, I learned that today too. On these gloves, you can still do all this stuff. So if it's not like armor scrap, you can throw armor scraps in there too and everything. So one more stat. Warcry gems is actually really bad. Who's gonna use Warcry gems? And bye-bye, the gloves go. But yeah, that's the build. Build did extremely good. Definitely was very surprised with the build. I recommend the build if you want to play something. It's just you have to focus on attack speed though. With this build was the only bad thing about it. Just a heads up. But that's going to be it for... I'll probably keep this character made for a day or two until I can get something else going. Just because I need something to kill Cyrus's with. Because right now I'm using my mapper to go through this. And then when I run all my conquerors ready, I switch to this character, complete them all, then switch back. So I'll figure out from there. So I hope everyone liked the video, and I hope to see you on the next one. Oh, if you'd like to see, also hit the subscribe button below and follow me on Twitch. Oh, I forgot to add that part.